you will buy it.
So
So I want to thank you.
Are you eating half of the ladies?
Well, it's
No, but
probably half
if one could not sell, half could sell,
I
and that is
see.
what is happening. And the lady that tell me, I don't know the lady. I don't think the lady is lying. So, gentlemen, I know you have a few words for the Dominican people coming. Dr. TC?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
we want to welcome them, and as you
Yeah.
talk about the half bakes, I was just
Yeah.
lamenting the fact that now we are selling practically everything in slices.
Yes.
I saw a slice of cabbage for $4 and something cents.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when I said, well, how can you be selling cabbage that should be cultivated here in Dominica?
Right.
And send a half.
Right.
They said, well, that's what the people can afford. So that's what they're doing now. They're cutting up the one cabbage into two.
Yes.
So one side sells for about $4.50.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's true. Everything has been
It's
downsized now, and you're
downsized,
correct
yeah.
because I saw Cucumber's package right now, and I told her, but why is that you have one cucumber? She said, you know what? I'm telling people $5 a cucumber, and they do not have the $5.
Yeah.
So she's going for $2 at least. Maybe you shouldn't go for $2.50, but because you can easily take out $2 as opposed to $2.50.
Dig deep in your bag, you can probably.
That is
find
correct.
$2.
That is correct. That is correct. So, gentlemen, let me just say we wish the proceedings well. But you were going to say something, and I want you to.
Yes,
to
yes.
continue.
As I indicated earlier, there's a song I really, really took a liking to this carnival season,
Yes.
and that is Silver Lake Again. I really love the lyrics of that song. I think it's really deep. But more than that, it shows, I spoke earlier about what's happening in our communities. And it really brings out what's happening in the community.
Yeah.
And part of that, so it's because of the dream killing that's going on around the country. We have a dream killer that's killing our youth potential. And so that, in fact, is a great contributor to what's happening all over the country, including Silver Lake. It's interesting because Dr. Fountain, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, the people that are making it, the people that are doing well are the passport sellers. As Dice says, he wants to sell a passport. And again, I'm kind of taking this off the Calypso season and going down the line with it. But those are the people doing well. While what's our guy named there in Marigot?
Greg?
No. Our Calypsonian in Marigot. Soulpuss says that.
Well, there are two from Marigot.
Yeah, well, Soulpuss is the one I'm talking about. Here is Dice trying to sell a passport to pick up some funds. And Soulpuss is telling us, no matter what, there's poverty going on all over the country, and you can't debate that there's poverty all over the country.
That is correct.
But what's causing all this? What's generating a lot of this is that bad governance. And why do we have bad governance? Because we have a government that won't give us electoral reform to give us a level playing field. Why? Afraid. They're afraid to give electoral reform because they know what's coming.
Right.
And as Caressa says, you can call him a liar, you can call him a thief, you can call him whatever you want. But in the end, we'll find out if that is the case. Somewhere down the line, we'll find out if that's the case.
That
you know
is
what I'm
correct.
saying?
That is correct.
So no matter what's going on in our country today, no matter what the politicians in office right now are doing to the people of Dominica, no matter how they are pressing us and as someone say, keeping the feet on our necks. But one thing they need to remember, at the end of the day, the ground that they're walking on will one day be their roof.
Excellent. I like how you kind of weaved all of those calypsos in such a powerful way, which tells me, and that's what I'm saying, in terms of the lyrics of the calypso, it provides a very sharp image of Dominica today, of today's Dominica.
Right.
So as you said, talking about the dream killer, having to sell a passport to make it, and Soulpuss singing about the poverty level. Everything that you hear resonates to everyone because it's about Dominica. It's about where we are.
And not just adding to this one, you heard of that song, The Experts. Everybody want to play experts. Because I see, the interesting thing about all of that, an expert. And that is good. That is good thinking, in writing. Because I've always been saying, I don't see why when we have major projects, like for instance, the geothermal project, why you don't have the technocrats talk about these projects as opposed to the ministers. And ministers always come and tell you, wow, instead of thinking of the policy to guide those projects, they will come and tell you it's going to bring substantial benefits to us. But look at that, over $100 million have been spent so far. Another matchbox has been lit.
Look at Wesley.
Had the technicians been speaking to us, then we'll understand it. But the politician always busy. Politicians, divorce yourself from technical work and get busy to create policies that will actually direct those programs to be correct. So you're right. And all what we are doing, you can steal all the money you want, but the ground that you are standing on there today will become your roof. And by the way, it will become all of us roof, the way we behave ourselves. So we're not directing anything at anybody. But so far, I believe I will enjoy this Calypso show because it have a lot of dancing music. And I love to move about. So if you see so unmistakably doing something, it's just that I love Calypso. But, and I've been supporting Calypso for many years. I'd not been to the eliminations, but I've been to the quarter semis, and if God spare my life, I will be at the final. So, gentlemen, we are in for a treat, and I suspect not only Dominicans that are returning, we have a lot of visitors here.
Yes.
So we want to take the opportunity to tell our visitors welcome and to visit the main sites around Dominica. Because Dominica is a lovely place, notwithstanding what you have been hearing. Yes, we have our domestic issues, but we love our country and we will fix Dominica. But the point is, it will take a new generation, a new team to do so. But we're not going there yet. So, gentlemen, I know you're going to say something, Dr. Thompson.
Yes, no, I just wanted to say as we talk about the Calypso a little bit, and then we'll talk about our case earlier today.
Oh, yes, definitely. That must come up.
You talked about Lady S. That's one of the Calypsos I remember, and I've been there, through the eliminations, quarters, semis.
I've seen you.
And I remember when I heard Lady S's song for the very first time, and I was commentating with Bosso and so on Q. Right. And my reaction was, this song, in my view, should go through to the finals. But hearing it for the very first time, I felt it had the correct blend of emotion and painting a picture. And it starts kind of interesting, you can't afford flour to make a little bakes, and creating that, it's very vivid. The song is very vivid in terms
gunshots at the beginning
of the way it portrays that community. The community I know very well. Actually spent some time there in the 2014 election.
Wow.
I was with Josh at the time, and I spent quite a bit of time in Silver Lake, and so I got to meet some of the people there and to understand a little bit of the community. So when she started singing that song, and you've been hearing of the shootings, we've had several incidents of shooting there. We've had people who've been killed, the young men who've been killed there, and so on. And this young lady and her sister, one died, the other one was injured. Song, very, very telling. And you really worry about areas like Silver Lake, and we know Silver Lake came about. It was those two row houses that were there after Carnival, after 1979, and the former name I was called previously.
Right.
All right. There was basically a dump. That was where they used to be dumping rubbish and so on. And then it evolved over the years into a community. But apparently it is in such a way now that you have all of those social issues. It's like an image of the social problems that we have in Dominica. And it is very sad to see that we have places like Silver Lake that exist in Dominica, and what can be done about it.
Yes, and that's true because prior to Lady S making an appearance at the semifinals, I was having a drink at the when I met her. I told her, look, you have not performed yet, but hear that. It's the first time I'm going to place you. I'm one of the public opinion judges. I'm going to place you in the final. And she does bow and said, thank you very much. And I knew at that time, because that song is unique, if you notice, the song has, that solemn sort of thing. And it was conveying a message as well.
Very powerful message.
It's conveying a message, The point is, I think generally, even if it wasn't pointing to that, I think we can solve our issues before turning weapons on each other. I believe we can do better as a society, and we just urge Dominicans for this season particularly that we behave responsibly and we respect each other. We are all citizens. We have to get back to work to build this country together. Why take somebody else's life? To leave all the weapons. In fact, you should have no reason to be walking with a weapon, carnival time. Forget all of the problems you have had in the past That is not for us. Let us show that we can have a sort of violent-free carnival and prove to the world that notwithstanding so many thousands of persons in the streets, we can enjoy ourselves happily without having to have bad news the next day. See? So I just want to say that. But so, gentlemen, I suspect that sitting is going to be a good one. But more importantly, politics. Gentlemen, for many years now, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, you, Dr. Fontaine, Mr. Edison James Lennox, Mr. Lennox Linton, well, there are a few other members, like Honorable Lector John and the others. And
Joseph Isaac.
Well, Joseph Isaac, I don't know how.
Special case.
Well, I always say that's a special case. How could you just because you join a government, all of a sudden your case is unheard of?
Yeah.
But I think that is a problem. But Doc, can you just give us a synopsis as to, and I know some people are listening, Dominican diaspora, and many have told me, even if they come to enjoy themselves, they love the Workers' Show. So I know they are listening. Doc, processors, I mean, what is going on for many years? Has a decision been made? Are we nearing a decision? Because, I mean, you cannot have men, responsible big men who have done well for this country.
Fighting for democracy.
And you have a government fighting against these people.
Yep.
And using state resources to do so, you know. So, Doc, that's
terrorizing citizens.
Terrorizing citizens.
Yeah, so much about this case is just so wrong, you know. When you think about it, the countless hundreds, running into the millions of dollars that have been spent.
Right.
And all because government is trying to put in prison its political opponents.
That's right.
And that is just wrong, you know. When you think about the fact that we took part we exercised our democratic rights to hold a rally, a peaceful rally, 8 years ago, and to see how the government was able to turn that around to try to make us into criminals so that they can destroy the United Workers' Party. But I think what it has done, quite to the contrary, it has made us stronger. It has made the party a lot more appealing because people are seeing the political, vendetta and persecution that is taking place, and that is what it is. It has nothing, as I keep saying, this has nothing to do with justice.
No.
Everything to do with trying to put your political opponents in jail, and that only happens in countries where you have a dictator running the country. You know, I remember, I recall, in fact, the current president of Senegal. He actually came from prison to become president because the former president realized that he was very strong and just threw him into prison.
Wow.
And even while he was in prison, the people organized, and when election came, they voted
him.
And the guy came from prison straight into the president's thing.
Right.
So, that what was meant for an evil there in Senegal. Now he's the president. He's a young guy in his 40s and the president of Senegal. So we see the government of Dominica trying the same thing to put the leaders, because see who they have targeted: the former prime minister,
right,
the former leader of the party, and the current leader,
and former opposition
leader, and then the current leader of the party.
Right.
So the most senior members of the United Workers' Party are those who have been targeted, and it is clearly the government using the judiciary, the legal branch, to do its dirty work, and that is not right. And I think that's, I've always viewed this not necessarily as a legal challenge, but as a political challenge. That is political, and anybody who wants to think differently, look at what happened in court today, listen to what has happened in court. And I cannot say much tonight, but I can tell you, as we wait, for the judgment to come tomorrow, because my lawyers, along with that of Mr. James and Mr. Linton, they have all put together a very powerful case, and they're asking that the case be quashed. Squashed. In other words, done away with, and there be a permanent stay, because you don't want them to come back with another charge. So that's what we have asked the judge to do. And that is what he's considering, and that's what we'll hear tomorrow, whether or not he agrees with our argument that there is no case to answer to. And so we'll see. So that's why we're encouraging the public to come out. It'll be good if there are people in the hundreds outside tomorrow listening to that verdict, because that is about the politics of Dominica. That is about the future of Dominica. That is about a trying to destroy a party that is well poised to become the next government of this country. There is no doubt in my mind that the people of Dominica are ready to make the United Workers' Party the next government. And so the existing government, I've been there for 25 years, have been failed so miserably on any metric, any score sheet you can use. This government has failed. And because they failed, they're trying their best now to destroy the United Workers' Party so that we would not take our rightful places in government. But I want to say a big thank you to the people of Dominica. They have seen that. Going throughout Dominica, the support has been just remarkable. People are realizing that this is a political vendetta,
It's a
that
witch
is
hunt. Is
a
what it
witch
is.
hunt,
Yeah.
and trying to use the judiciary. So let's see. We're talking about the independence of the judiciary and whether or not that independence will be exercised, in a way that we can all be proud of tomorrow.
Yes. We are halfway into the program, caller. Good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
But there is something. Maybe in the history of Dominica, this cannot be happening. Because my name is 79, 17. All the magic wasn't going on because, first of all, it was showing love for one another. No matter what political party is supporting, showing love for country and for politics. You know what I mean? Having opposition in court. For what? For what, brother man? For talking the right for country, to make the country develop the country, make the country move forward. And we're saying politics in that, can criticize the man. And other people cannot think, no, them things can't work, boy. We have to respect the Almighty, what they have done for Dominica. In the range of the United Workers' Party. Because people wasn't suffering like that before. More than have people come and beg them now. Brother man, you can't prosper like that. It's all about our country. It's all about Dominica. Not about politics, brother man. And we all got to show love and appreciation to each other for Dominica, with everybody, and for one step. And people go and beg. If you raise up like that, brother man, it's time for them nonsense to stop and move along. Make Dominica better Dominica. And everyone can survive. No.
All right.
All right, thank you, Colin. That's exactly what we are pushing as the United Workers' Party. We are pushing the fact that we can fix this economy, we can put people to work. We will move from a beggar dependent type of organization now to where people are independent because they'll be making their money. Public servants will be better paid, will be well paid. Farmers will be working the land again. Exports will start up again. Our manufacturing base will once again start up. That is what the United Workers' Party is offering to the people of Dominica.
Yep.
And there's an understanding that we are able to do it because we have the competence, we have the expertise within the United Workers' Party, and when we lack that expertise, we will find it to work in the best interest of the public. And also, we have people who are committed to country, not to their pockets. You have a government, quite frankly, that is committed, and a number of these power reps started by being paid large sums of money from taxpayer dollars to get into politics, not because necessarily they love or they want to contribute to the public, but because the government was paying off their mortgage or giving them a brand new vehicle. I mean, that is the incentives that some of our parliamentary representatives were given to run into government. So that means they don't have the love for the country. They don't have the best interest of the country at heart. And you have a complete contrast. Very, very different. Like night is to day, like dark is to light. United Workers' Party and the Dominica Labour Party government. And that's the choice we have. But that choice is so powerful that this government is trying everything to the point of expending that's serious business, These guys have spent millions of dollars to get foreign lawyers into Dominica to prosecute and to try to throw us in jail. Today in court, I'm hearing, the lawyers talking about 7 years jail if found guilty, minimum 7 years jail, and so on. For what?
For what?
After 8 years.
After 8 years. Want to send you to jail for 7 years.
So they are counting the penalty part even before.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Yes,
but
say like you guys are fellas. You guys, bad, And I can say that it happened a few times. And to show you how ridiculous that is, when my lawyer referred to me as Dr. Thompson Fontaine, the prosecutor from Trinidad says, this Indian guy from Trinidad says, no, he's not Dr. Fontaine, he's Thompson Fontaine. in court.
Disrespect.
Yeah, but the judge says, but I don't understand. He has earned his PhD. Why you don't want him to refer
No,
to
they do not want to
as
know the caliber of person.
because as far as he's concerned, you guys are just
Criminals, yes.
and you should not be, I mean, come on.
Yeah, that is so bad. And earlier on, I think there was a slippery tongue, but I know for sure the government is committed for themselves. They are just committed to themselves because they have been doing well for themselves, and others have been. We are well into more than halfway of our program, and we are inviting the public to call because we have said right before now. We have a call.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do have a call. No.
No.
We've said we do not have all of the answers. Yeah, we do have a call. A caller. Good evening to you.
To everybody.
Yeah, good evening to you, sir.
I would like somebody to tell me
Mm-hmm.
a case of overthrow and itself a case of incitement. That I would like to ask.
Can you repeat?
Huh?
Can you repeat what the question or what you're suggesting here?
What I'm saying is a case of overthrow,
Right.
which took place as a case of
Incitement. Oh, I see.
Oh,
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Very
good observation.
Very good observation.
Yeah.
In fact, when I was first arrested, I was just coming from Q actually. I just went downstairs and there were 4 police officers with guns, long guns, waiting for me.
Right.
Like a common criminal. Things you don't even see when they go and bang persons. And
Right.
so as I stepped out of the Q studios, they were there. The guy who came to me first says, I can't remember his name now. He says he's whatever from the police force, and then I'm under arrest for attempting to overthrow the government of Dominica. That
was actually what was told.
That was what was told to me. And that I know is a treasonous charge.
Yes.
We've had Dominicans who we know that Frederick Newton
Right.
went to the gallows because of that same charge.
Right.
And so that is a death sentence.
Right.
And so he says, you're under arrest for attempting to overthrow the government of Dominica.
Poor police officer.
So that was what we were charged with.
Initially,
that's what we were told we were charged with. So then I'm taken to police headquarters. After 2 days of questioning, I'm let go without charge.
And remember, treason, yeah?
Treason. So they said, okay, you can go. Okay? Because that thing about D-Day, a truck, by that, I guess, common sense prevailed. They know that we could not have been planning to overthrow
a music system.
With a truck and a music system. So somebody says, let them go. So after 2 days of questioning, I was let go. Yeah. And then a few months later, I received a summons saying that, incitement. So they had moved away from this ridiculous charge of attempting to overthrow the government. Now you have been charged with incitement. And that is where we are now.
So the lawyers are aware of that.
Yes, of course. That has been used in my affidavit and so on.
That's a dismissal.
So that the question the caller is asking, how does it move from being charged initially with overthrowing the government and now you're being charged with incitement?
Right.
And it was very funny. I mean, I promised my lawyer I would not talk about the case, but I need to mention that today because at one point, they since there were people in the public, and it really should be a public trial because I don't see any stick with that.
Don't jeopardize the case.
It should be a public. No, that has nothing to do. The judge will do that. A legal thing. I'm going to say what happened because in any case, in any trial, it's people are there. Public trial.
Yeah. Public trial.
There are many people, so everybody heard it. It's not anything secret or not anything to prejudice the case in any way. But the lawyer, the prosecutor says, well, these the defendants they came to at the end of their meeting, they incited the crowd to tumultuous whatever, and then they left.
So they left. We bought this.
So what he was saying is that we are guilty because we incited the people to riot.
Right, yeah.
Okay? And he says, fires were started by there, everything was there. And he said, you guys did that and then you left. So, and at one point the judge asked, for clarification. He says, well, if your incitement, they incited individuals to riot, then shouldn't they be guilty of rioting? Because they should be part.
Part of
So in
the-
other words, if I incite you to go burn a
Oh,
house,
yeah.
or if I say to go and kill somebody,
and
then
you do
I
it.
should be an accomplice.
Complete.
Yeah,
About, yeah.
Like, couldn't
Yeah.
answer, you know. So this whole thing is just really, and as I said, it has nothing to do with law.
Yeah.
But an attempt to get the legal part of government to side with this Labour Party government to really, to really get us. And I mean, to think.
Something that actually in the previous trial that actually I thought was interesting,
Right.
was when the prosecutor said that, Your Honor, these defendants are not, they do not have to have a speedy trial. They just need to have a fair trial. So don't worry about the 8 years that we prolonged this case, because there's nothing that says they need to have a speedy
In fact,
trial.
he said Dominicans don't
Dominican
care about
speedy trial.
Yeah.
They just need to have a fair trial. So it can be 10 years, 20 years.
Oh my God.
And you just need to have a fair trial.
Point of gentlemen.
And then something just before, something more upset that he said today is, he says, I'm not as a prosecutor, I'm not acting on behalf of the government. I'm acting on behalf of the people of Dominica. I'm like, really?
Oh, this country
Acting
must
on
be.
behalf of the people of Dominica, you're making your millions of dollars at the expense of the people of Dominica, and you're acting on their behalf. These are the same Dominicans that this government, we just had some protests there at the State College because they have been owed. They have been owed. That is money that should not be used to pay your teachers, your lecturers, or educating our young people. You're using this money to pay foreign lawyers to come to Dominica to try to send us to jail. And this man has the audacity to say that he is supporting
and
representing the people of Dominica. Well, give us the money, do it for free, and I'll give the government back the money so they can pay the public servants of Dominica.
You know the interesting thing I've heard about the circuit courts in America, not circus court. So that seems to be a circus court. But
I want to digress a little bit here, because there's a point I want to make during this program.
No problem.
There was you saw what happened in Bells, right? The road failure in Bells.
Oh yes.
The government took 10 years before they could actually go to attack the road problem, and actually made it worse when they undermined the road there. What struck me about that whole thing is that the power rep of Wesley found it necessary to stand there and have a conversation with the people of Bells about the inconveniences that they were going to encounter because of the road closure. He stood there. He had a conversation with them, and he basically spoke to them and showed how sorry he was about what had happened and how it was going to affect the people of Bells. Yes, and it's the first time I'm going to address this young man this way. This same worthless pal rep. Since 2020, the government have been tearing up the village of Wesley, taking homes, breaking down homes, grading produce, not paying people for their property. And not once in these 3 years has this power rep ever stood up in Wesley and addressed the people of Wesley about what is going on in the village of Wesley.
But here he's in Bells.
But here he is in Bells as the public works officer, talking to the people of Bells. He's representing the community of Wesley, so-called.
That's correct.
And yet, he has never, ever came to Wesley, stood in the 4 Road or in Central or in Eden Road, anywhere, and addressed the people of Wesley to tell them what's going on in Wesley from day to day.
What a shame.
Whether it be the cement, whether it be the dirty air, whether it be the dynamite that are cracking people's homes. I've lost an iron. My TV is fluttering. My houses are getting cracked. He has never once come in, not even to tell people where the bypass road is going to be. No one knows. Nobody knows what's going on. People have their own make up, speculations as to what's going on, because this young man has totally refused to come to Wesley to talk to the people of Wesley. And I wanted to make that point tonight because it just, can I say, pissed me off?
Oh yes, oh yes,
Okay.
definitely. That's not offensive at all.
It just pissed me off so much when I saw him standing in Bells, having a meeting with the people of Bells, and yet the people and the community that he represents in Wesley, he found absolutely no time to come to Wesley to talk to the people of Wesley. I wanted to make sure I made that point tonight.
And it was well made. But you know, yes, Doc.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say, and I guess the parent for Bells could not show up because it took them 10 years.
Yeah,
10 years.
10 years.
10 years
Yeah.
to fix.
And they're
that
not
problem.
ashamed. They're
And
actually
I
not
just said
ashamed.
something, I was wondering why was all of that rain falling? It seems that that's the reason why this rain was falling.
Well,
Just
yes.
so it could force the government to fix that.
Fix that
issue.
road. And you know, the signs remain up saying road edge failure for years,
For
many
years.
years.
But
Dominicans
10
came,
years.
I mean, some people have come. They last year they came, some came year before, so they have been. Some of them have been consistently coming. Returning Dominican, have you not seen the sign mark road edge failure? No, that is what happened. The rain that we got over the period of time there, that is what now caused this government now to be rushing to do some work now in Bells because they failed to attend to some of the roads after Hurricane Maria.
But
And that was prior to not even Hurricane
That's
Maria.
Erica.
That's
That's
Erica
Erica.
before Maria. Yeah.
But here's the takeoff of that.
Yes.
If this government is not able to fix the main road, the main artery from the city to the airport, the one that everyone is traversing daily, they themselves are passing on this road. How in God's creation do you expect them to fix feeder
Through the
roads
roads.
going up to our farms?
That's what we have to assess it.
Huh? When you look at, they are unable to fix the main road of the country, and yet we are expecting them to fix the feeder road. My people, let me explain something to you. The only way these things are going to get done is to get these people out of there. And as I've said before,
Yeah.
this government is a transactional government. They paid you for your vote. They paid the power reps in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So they owe you nothing because they've already been paid.
That's correct.
You can expect absolutely no representation. They will do the bare minimum. And when they do the bare minimum, they're out there jumping for joy and acting as they're doing something. Some things that they were supposed to do decades ago, they're now trying to do it, and they're going hailing hooray as though they're accomplishing something.
You know what is hurtful about it? And just as we're speaking about that, this government is so, I mean, come on. And they behave like children in government. You know, quarter of the bridge collapsed at St. Joseph, Layu, that bridge. Quarter of the bridge, quarter of one side of the bridge. Or just half of one side. So, yeah. Okay, we got a caller here? Caller? Yes, caller, you are right through. It's your time. We have had enough. Your time.
Yes, good evening, Soso Faroso,
Good evening, sir.
Dr. Fountain, political leader,
Yes, good evening.
and
Good evening.
Dr. TC.
Good evening, sir.
But Soso, it seems as though I'll have to give you 2 honorary doctorates, so that next time you come among the doctors, I can refer to you as Dr. Soso.
Everybody. But I want it with hard work and I want it with academics. Not just going and sit down by the roadside and somebody just put something on my head. I'm not in that. Thank you, sir.
Yes, so Dr. Fountain, did I hear you correctly when you said an officer of the court is telling the court that justice delayed is no longer justice denied?
Well,
Because basically that is what he said. It doesn't matter how long it takes.
Yeah. Mhm.
If he said it doesn't matter how long it takes, the only thing is that the defendants get a theatrical. If they don't believe anymore that justice delayed is justice denied.
Right.
You know, and then, I think if it was somewhere else, or even in Dominica, we should have taken Israel Khan and the rest of the guys for a swim in the boiling lake.
The boiling
Now,
lake.
Yeah, I'll give them a swim in the boiling lake. Man. Yeah, and Dr. TC,
Yes, sir.
you don't expect Mr. Grant to say anything to the Wesley people. Because as you have rightly said, Mr. Grant didn't go up to represent the people because he's interested in the welfare of the people or he's interested in seeing Wesley being developed. He went up because he was paid to go up. So that is why they cannot say anything. I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with that procedure they call castration. Before, when somebody had a nice goat or whatever,
Oh yes.
and they don't want you to cross the other neighbors so that they get the meat, they would castrate them.
Yes.
Yeah. But there is another procedure, they call WOP. Are you familiar with that one?
Well, not too familiar.
No, go ahead.
Okay, I used to see my father doing it. Like you take the male animal, cushion the testicles with some whatever, and take a mortar pestle and then strike it on the testicles.
Isn't that
You have
painful?
you have to be an expert to know how to do it. But at the same time, it will be very, very painful. So the difference between the castration and the WOP is that, let us suppose somebody during, playing, they would just, you have something there. Whereas with the testicles, they would remove it.
Yes.
But with the WOP, you just have something there, but it is of non-effect.
Huh.
You cannot function. You cannot make anything again. But it's just there to make people believe you have something. So that's what happened to the ministers of the Labour Party. Scary, won't follow them.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Good
Gordon.
evening.
Yeah, one person saying the thing, we expect the same to happen as it happens in Bells, in Wesley. So I hope, we're wishing for anything bad, but I know once you neglect, infrastructure work over time, with heavy rainfall, Dominica is prone to be a rainy country. And so we have a lot of runoff, we have a lot of, slides and so.
Especially if you're building a runway on clay.
That is correct. And it is because clay retains a lot of water. And what you're not doing is that you're not knowing exactly among the water, quantity of water is there. And subsequent to that, you're just going to see a disaster. So this government is already a disaster. They talk about road edge failure, but the government itself is a failure. So government, I'm happy that you had put up that sign. You just don't want to say the government is a failure. You put it on the road and you say you have road edge failure. But you yourself as government, you are a failure. So let me just say, gentlemen,
what's the remedy though, so?
Oh, well, yeah, I think we have to fix it. And we have a team of responsible men and women who we are capable, we are well trained, and we are ready to take over the reins of government to fix all these, ills in our society, in our economy. And as we know, we have Dr. Thompson Fonkem at the helm, who has done great work with other economies. So I hate people who say, but don't sell out all the business. Nobody man is an economist and he's telling you how he's going to fix Dominica. What is it all about selling out? He's telling you what he's going to do. Create jobs in this economy so that people can be gainfully employed to earn for themselves and to get rid of that dependency syndrome they've had. Don't tell us we are talking too much and giving out our secret. Because we've spoken so many good things and yet this government has not learned.
They're not capable.
They are not capable. They have not done it. They have tried, but they will not do it. So they are just like we have road at failure. This government is a common failure, and all of us know that.
Indeed. And from day one, after we've won this next election, we are going to declare war on dependency. We are going to declare war on dependency because, what we believe in the United Workers' Party is that every single Dominican should be independent. Every family should be independent. Every young person should have access to work. Every farmer should have access to markets after he's worked his land. And that people can live better lives. And that is why we're going to declare war on dependency. Don't come to us. We'll create opportunities that will allow you to earn for yourself. And when you earn, you think for yourself. So if you're doing good for the country, we'll get reelected. And that is what this government has done, I think has done a disservice to the people of Dominica. They've literally broken your hand.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what they've done. I mean, they've put in such a helpless state that you feel almost obligated to vote them in. But not because they're doing well for the country, but because you feel that there is no other way. You're so dependent on this government, but that's not the way it should be. Government is supposed to be there to better the lives of the people, create opportunities for the people, not to take advantage of the people. And that is what the government is doing.
And that's where means testing comes in. That's how you help people.
Right.
You figure who needs it the most. You do you go around, you get your metrics, you look at who falls into what criteria, and then you determine, okay, this person falls into this category, and so they deserve this amount of help.
When you have, Doc, and you was making a point there, but yeah, when you have employment flowing, you don't have time to come to a pal rep. You have time to work. Under United Workers Party, people have had 2 jobs. Yes, good evening, caller. You say? Good evening, caller. You say?
Yes, gentlemen. Permit me again. There is something I forget.
Yes.
I would like you all to indulge me, please.
Yes, no problem.
That tomorrow, the United Workers Party will be launching their annual raffle.
Yes.
This time we'll be raffling a Noah vehicle.
Right.
And then, as usual, I'm appealing to the public to support us, to patronize us, so to speak. So from tomorrow around 8 o'clock at the Prevo Cinema, the usual place, we will be there, your usual team. This time you would have a chance to win a Noah vehicle, first prize, and then 2 other very attractive prizes.
Television and tablet.
Yeah. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you. Yes,
All right, thank you.
that.
Yes, indeed. And a big thank you as well to the public. They've supported. This is the
fourth
annual
raffle. And we really want to thank you for your patronage. And I mean, we've done. I mean, notwithstanding, we're trying our best, and you have been supporting it. Without your input and your participation, we are nowhere. Thank you, caller. You're on.
Yes, good night, gentlemen.
Good evening to you, sir. Yes, good night. Thank you, sir.
The League of the United Workers by Dr. Thompson Fountain and Dr. T.C. Thomas.
Right.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
National Secretary.
Thank you, sir.
I guess, it's Baptist calling me. Sorry about that.
Oh, yes,
Oh, no
yes,
problem. Yes.
Yes, the point I would like to make, and I'm hoping that the government officials are listening, is in respect to the question about the road failure in the Bells area. Some of us might think it's quite possible that the water running in that area along that section of road that caused the failure could have aggravated the situation and caused it to happen. And we know that it has there for a very long time.
Very good.
But I would like to urge the government to take this issue very seriously, particularly with respect to the road edge failure just before Sylvania housing scheme.
Mm.
If you're going towards Pokasi, that's just before you get into housing area at Sylvania.
Oh, yes.
You're leaving Sylvania, just after you pass there, you have a failure, road failure in that curve there, in that corner there.
Yes.
2 vehicles cannot even pass.
Right.
The government must consider very seriously how it can get someone to go and investigate, look at what's happening in that area. Because the road failure in Bells, the transportation of these heavy vehicles with a lot of loading for transporting cement to the airport could have aggravated that situation, apart from the fact that you have a ravine running along it and the rain. But it could have also aggravated the situation as to the failure. And they must consider, could the same thing be happening in that curve just before Sylvania with these heavy loaded vehicles that have been transporting cement to that airport project? The government has basically abandoned the Layu to Pokasi road. They went up to that bridge and they just forgot the rest of the road. Because some parts, for example, even the buses transporting tourists, they would go up the Sylvania road and come back down the Layu road and give the tourists pretty good appreciation of the country.
Right.
They can no longer do that. They have to use that same Pokasi Sylvania.
So they go up and they go down. Yes.
To go to the Emerald Pool, etc.
Right.
But so the volume of traffic that has been on that section of road has increased considerably because of the fact that the Layu road section has been closed for years now. Added to that, you have been transporting these heavy vehicles, loaded vehicles, transporting cement for quite some time now, from Roseville to the airport project. And the government should take seriously and investigate and find out what is happening in that corner there so that we don't have another disaster facing us in Dominica. I hope those that are listening to this program and just listen to things that they think that affecting that we are discussing the Labour Party, they can talk about it. But this issue, I would seriously hope that the government will put in some engineers to investigate what is happening in that area if that situation is getting worse and it's a threat. It is always a threat, but it's getting aggravated situation developing in that area. Good night.
Yeah, thank
Yes,
you, and we
so-
appreciate it as a
And
development
it's good,
planner.
to bring that, but also the other area lower down. What that area?
Oh yes, lower down, going down
Springfield.
close to Springfield area.
Yes.
Springfield area,
But
yes.
to me, that's a different name.
No, well, just lower the Cochrane Road there,
Cochrane, yes,
background
yes,
there. I don't
yes,
remember the
yes,
exact name, but I know Springfield area there. That too has been, a problem.
Yeah, that is sinking.
My
fast.
vehicle touched there when I came down
Came
last.
down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
last
sinking fast.
Mr. Isaac Baptist, thank you for that. And I hope the government will listen. They always, well, I know when you speak, they listen to you.
They
And
just,
they know
can't,
what
they
they,
just can't
they,
execute.
they just can't execute.
Yeah.
So,
But also, I just want more.
Yeah.
Why does the government have to wait
Till
until people are coming to Dominica to patch the holes?
yeah, that's a good point.
Because they don't
All
work
of a
for us. They
sudden,
work for-
all of a sudden, they're patching holes everywhere. But those holes have been there.
Dominicans
for
over
months.
2 years now, don't hold there, Don't make them for you over 2 years. You come in now, they come in and patch up.
Patch.
And a holding down vehicle and a whole set around you come is just a patch they put in. Anyway, and what boy, let me tell you, we have plenty things to talk about. But gentlemen, we have run out of time, and look at time gone so quick.
1 hour.
Yes, just remember, Dominicans, that tomorrow the United Workers Party again is launching its 4th annual raffle tomorrow outside the usual venue, like the Prevost City Mall, and sales will happen right there from 8:30. First prize, Toyota Noah. Oh, buddy, I know.
That's a great
Yes,
vehicle.
a caller. We have this caller. We're taking this caller before we put closure to this program. Caller, sorry for that. Yeah, we missed the call.
You know what's great about that vehicle?
Yeah, tell
You can
me.
use it for taxi. You can
Family.
use it as a family vehicle.
Right.
You can use it as a rental vehicle.
Very
You
good.
can use it to carry produce.
Oh, look, we have a caller. Yes, caller. Caller.
Caller, go ahead, you're on.
Good night.
Good night.
Also,
Hey, how are you?
are you not talking nonsense on this radio?
Oh, well, I don't think you will put your ears to listen to nonsense. I don't, because if something is nonsense,
Why do you keep listening?
why keep listening? It makes sense. So it bothers you. Just tell us you are bothered about what is happening, and you are bothered and you are disturbed by your government. Our government is not doing the right thing. So I think it's that you really wanted to say, but I don't think it's nonsense, because we have been here for an hour, just now passing the hour, and you're telling me you listen to nonsense all the time. Man, you have something good to say. Have a good night, man. We still welcome you. Continue to listen. I know it's not easy to take it. Next caller. Yes, caller.
Yes, my brother. Good night to the complete panel.
Yes, my brother.
All those that saying is nonsense is sense, because why? They have no vision like Susu, no vision like Thompson Fountain. That's why they want to take him to their own mountain. You understand? And with his qualifications, he's not bowing for 2 pence hit me. And if Thompson Fountain can fix another world, how come he cannot fix Dominica? Susu have done it on his own and let the people understand where Susu came from. River Street, the ghetto, and the ghetto people need to rise.
Right.
And as we talk about fixing roads, so
Yes.
in my calling for my 25 cents, I have them put in something, one to look like Baba Green instead of Story to Green. I see they change the style of it, but I want to call on whoever in charge of mixing. I need a little more sand in it.
Yes.
And the stone you put in is the right stone. But do not pour the Baba Green on top of the water. Dry the water first.
Yeah.
And now, in closing, Mr. Skerrit Popon, I love you so much, darling. But I want you to take a walk by the police station. There's a big hole with a piece of iron that needs to block before Carnival. Who is the man drawing all the extra money for road maintenance, and I pay my license and insurance, and that hole over 15 years or more, I have been talking to it. Thanks God that you all have took out the 2 big stones. The water is going down a little better, but I'm calling on you all.
Right.
You can block the hole before a transport or a bike man kills there. Thompson Fountain, I ask you to let so bring you in the end of Cash and Carry or by Fred there to see that type of hole that's in the road. And if you can do anything to help me out in my community, which I don't know what to break their leg there, help me out. Skerrit, I am calling on you. Mr. Blackmore, pass and watch it for yourself. Please, I beg you, Mr. Skerrit, tonight, drive with one of your bodyguards and drive on your own in the same transport you just drive in there and nobody don't know it's you alone. Just take a stop, please, I beg you. Stop wrong the four corners. The four corners are there
Yes.
by Concentrate.
That's
and
right.
Check out the hole and fix it. Good night. Have a good night.
Thank you, sir.
right,
Thank
good
you.
night.
Thank you. And so, yes, we've now bring on, and as we say, you know, we have Dominica to fix and we will fix it. And, you know, we've 24 years of this government is too much. No results. Can I get results? We are party. We mean business. We mean to provide jobs for the people, make them be independent to buy what they want, wake up tomorrow and feel like eating a steak. Daily just steak.
Steak and eggs.
Steak and eggs. It's simple like because you know it's that you work for, you're gonna get it.
Oh yes.
And that's what we want to do. So, Dr. TC, your closing remarks right away.
Well, my closing remark is basically to tell each and everyone out there, let's you out there, you come here to enjoy Carnival, do it well, do it safe. Don't get yourself involved in no incident out there. Watch out for each other, and let's keep the community spirit going. Enjoy the Calypso. I know I've done so over the past few weeks. I've seen the political leader doing that himself. So enjoy yourself while you're here, and don't go back with any money. Pour money into the economy, because believe me, this economy is on its last leg and it needs as much help as it can get. So spend some money while you're here to help prop up this economy, because after you're gone, we're going to have to go back to the same thing that we've been undergoing over the last few years. So thanks for coming. Great being with you again tonight. Don't forget the court case tomorrow, 9:00. Show up at the court. Don't forget the raffle tomorrow. It's going to be at from about 8:30 at the Prevost Cinema.
That's correct.
Come get your tickets. This is the 4th edition, so we're looking forward to for your support. Wesley Wood for the Palm Tree. Have a good evening and enjoy the Carnival.
And let me thank you also for the work that we've been doing. You have been part of the whole for the past time. We have been getting vehicles. You have been from the onset, you know, with this. In terms of this election, you have been, you know, a good person with us and patronizing. And let me say, you have been doing good for us and for the people of Dominica. And so those of you who have driven off with your winning cars, Dr. TC had a part to play with anyway, and everybody else and all the team, you know. So let me just say good night to everyone. But let me hear from our political leader, Dr. Thompson Fontaine, who is closing.
Yes, indeed. Just to say, you know, I just wanted to say thank you actually as we end to the many persons who have embraced the domino competition in the Southeast. And I can tell you that has really generated a lot of vibe, a lot of what we hoped, and that is happening. People are coming out, activity generating a little bit of economic activity for the villages. It has been really, really great so far. We're taking a pause this weekend, but we'll be back. We'll be back after Carnival, the weekend after Carnival, and we end at the end of March. So I want to thank everybody who've been coming out. That's been working really, really well, and people are very happy about it, because that is bringing a little bit of life to our villages, which is, I can tell you, when you don't have money, man, it can be tough. And you know, we've been able to generate some activity there, so we're very thankful for that. And also thanks to the farmers who have signed up to be part of the Southeast Farmers Group, as we continue to bring some life into agriculture, hoping that we can bring back agriculture to where it is supposed to be, which is number one in terms of generating wealth and income for the people of Dominica. And I just want to encourage all of you to enjoy your Carnival, but do it safely. You know, and as also said earlier, no need for this violence. You know, we see too much violence too many times, and we ask that, you know, you enjoy your Carnival peacefully, and that, you know, support the activities, support the Calypso show, support what's going on. And to those of you who are here for the holidays and for the Carnival, enjoy your Carnival.
Yeah, and also to diasporans, we need some of the money too. So you'll pass by the Prevost Cinema tomorrow, and even if you are living abroad, once your name is called, you can, you know, come down and enjoy your winning, drive your Nova to wherever you want to. So come support the cause. You know, that's just part of our fundraising. and then just patronize us. And let me just say the name we were looking for is Antrim Valley. Antrim Valley, yes. Antrim Valley, yes. So yeah, we're Antrim Valley.
Thanks to whoever said.
Yeah, well, that's good. Antrim people are listening. Yeah, so that is it. So we want to say good night to everyone. Thanks again for listening. For those of you who called, we appreciate your call because we said already before that we don't have all the answers, and you are very much part of this program. You have enhanced the program. We are doing it for you. Help us to help you. We have one common goal in mind: is just to remove this government. Have a good night. This government is a failure, just like they have the signs up, roadside failure. Good night.
Spiritual warfare. The things that we see, people going after. It is very clear that there are demons out there. That if we need to stop this evil spirit from invading our churches and public office, evil and good can be in one unit. If it's like here on the obia, pretend like you don't know it yet. Things happening in office, people behave like they don't. Increase your salary 100-fold, but workers can't block out. Uncle wants to snap again, but this time I am uncle's friend. Don't open our eyes and stop. The things they will do if we play deaf and mumu. They are pastors from East and West, Diabla and Jamaica. Them man, that's tremble. Please pray for the churches, please pray for the police. They are fighting battles that should not exist. If churches would pray and police would arrest, to take out them demons and clean up all comments. But it seems my people, they are under a spell. Tibo is the remedy to keep them in health. The church and police to fight for what is right. Oh, help me, God, better for life. It seems the country in a trance. The people need their deliverance. Playing like a pharaoh, they say that my people go. The people say you here too long, uncles are waiting for my son. It's appropriate for money, destroying the economy. We don't open our eyes and stop from the dynasty of the one-man party, or worship and playing masters doing anything that they want. Them man, I have never done it, so to that I can't relate. Or some people just go back and eat up their vomit.